What's up, guys? Frugal BC. Let me just still working on getting some stuff. It actually takes a while to get something. Got some people watching already. We are live and going. Algorand staking rewards are live. We got huge. AI Work says Algo is the way. Yes, 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 yes. And we're going to be on YouTube and Kick today because my new setup unfortunately only allows me with two. It's kind of crazy actually. Restream. And I'm restreaming from OBS, which works a lot better than the other one, Studio. God, what was it called? Streamlabs. Yeah, Streamlabs Talk Studio just really was functioning poorly, and it got really irritating. And actually, I can do this without the watermark, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well out there. We got SeaWill joining in a little bit, so keep an eye out for that. Where can I bring these on? Yeah, one thing I can't do, it looks like I can't bring chats on stream, which is kind of a bummer. But other than that, it's going pretty well. And I can have that little start soon screen. We're gonna try out having a guest on. I don't know how well it's gonna work. I really don't. Man, one problem is when I do this after lunch, my breath is always a little off, but yeah, we're gonna look at the crypto charts as always. We're gonna look at some stuff going on with the Trump administration and crypto. Gonna do some reactions with SeaWill, assuming it works. I hope it works. Yeah, I just have to wait for SeaWill to arrive and see if it works. I think I got it all set up, but yeah, I made it clear to him that I don't know for sure if it's gonna work. So we're gonna be cool with that. But yeah, should be a good show, and we're gonna try out this new platform. Yeah, it's really funny. So I'm going through Restream now, which I had an account with earlier, and if you were allowed to stream to two places, and if you pay like for free, but then you pay $16 a month to stream for one additional place, that doesn't seem worth it to me. So I might just chop up videos and throw them on X instead. The thing is, the cool thing is you can get a really big audience on X, like way bigger than any of the other platforms, but I don't know if it was really moving the needle in terms of like impressions on X. So we're gonna stick with YouTube and Kick. So obviously we got some really huge news. And by the way, if you're not following me on Kick, I'd love you to go over there and do that. Oh, is that actually working? I don't think it worked. Oh, I got an error on there anyway. Well, all right. If it's not going to work, then I'm just going to put it on. I'm just going to put it on X instead. Apparently, the Kick one didn't work. Great. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It worked earlier, so that's really unfortunate. Well, why don't we get into some news? Let's just look at the charts. So I only see one chat. I don't know if that's accurate or not. The one thing, it looks like kind of complicated to do a scheduled stream. AI Work says Algo is the way. Aaron Olivia says Algo OG ready for moon season. Yeah, let's go. In fact, with that, why don't we look at the chart? Oops, hold on. There we go. Now we're getting some chats. Brando Algo says Algo for the win. Yes, let's go. It is showing me YouTube versus X2. So if you're on X, I will see your comments there too. But I really wanted to, yeah, I'm trying to grow my Kick channel, which is it's a little bit frustrating that that's not working. But welcome everybody. By the way, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do so. And yeah, liking the video really helps at this phase. We also have channel memberships, so be sure to check that out as well. But here we are. This is the Algorand chart for today. Yeah, we'll pump up and then we'll pop back down. We've just been considering kind of sitting between 40, mostly between 40 and 45 cents thereabouts. So in the last few days, I thought staking rewards would kind of move the needle a little bit more. I guess I'm a little surprised that it didn't pump up. And I think there's some confusion. I'm getting a lot of, I did a pretty extensive video on staking rewards. And I think staking itself, running a node, is fairly simple to understand. But when the other platforms got involved and they started doing liquid staking, it got far more complicated. And I've been getting a lot of questions. I have my own questions. So I actually finally tried it out. If you go into the easiest way, I think, to participate is to go to their Para wallet. And I don't know what it looks like on other wallets. I can probably take a look. I'll have to take a look. Don asks about Valor staking. Yeah, I'll explain my thoughts on that in a second. So, and it might be that there just weren't enough options yet, actually. So we'll get to that in a second here. So if you go in your Para wallet and you look at the staking tab, you can see that there's a thing called Ready Pool. You can go to the Ready Pool, and there's a number of pools set up by people like Non-Fungible Domains, which happens to be a sponsor of the show, by the way, and huge shout out to those guys. Appreciate you guys and everything you do for Algorand and for us here. Also, big shout out to Marcus Ferilius, who also has a Ready Pool. Both of them have Ready Pools. I joined the Marcus one because they had one that had a minimum of 100 algo, which I had in my wallet. The Non-Fungible Domains ones has 1,000. AlgoLeagues on says AlgoLeagues has a Ready Pool. Yeah, there's a lot of Ready Pools. So I joined, just to try it out, I joined the Marcus one so far. So I just want to test that out, see how it goes. I just did that like an hour ago. I don't think there's anything to report on that right now, but good to see that it's up. And anyway, that seems to be one of the easiest ways to do it. Now, and Gary loves Algo. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being on here. All of you guys, appreciate everyone showing up today and checking us for this live stream. Like I said, we got SeaWill coming on in about 20 minutes. I hope to God it works. I really, really hope it works. We'll see. Because I'm trying something brand new. And Algo League says ours is 250 Algorand minimum and reward in ALC as well. So something to keep in mind. Now, someone asked about Valor, and well, why don't I just share? Let me share my screen. So one thing I have to do with OBS is when I do screen sharing, I usually have to take it off screen share, unless you want to see all my things here. So okay, let's go back. Gary says, "Good to see you. Appreciate it, brother." Okay, so this is the peer-to-peer network. They have so yesterday it said coming soon, and I kept watching it to see because I thought this might be a really good option. I thought this would be a good option for staking rewards because they were saying on the live stream, they were saying that, or on the spaces on Wednesday, they were saying that there wouldn't be any fees, not from them, but it kind of works like a Ready Pool. So let's just dive into this. So you have to say, okay, continue. Yes, below 30. Okay, there's a lot more of them now. Let's see if you go to Algo. So there's a lot of them. There's a max stake. I don't know why does it say my stake? I don't have any stake. So the Algorand rewards, this is really interesting actually, because this said 7.5%, and I heard other people saying it was coming in at about 7.5%, but that might have been the initial rush. Now that things are settling out a little bit, it seems to be it's supposed to be 6.5 is what it's supposed to be. So I think this is because this is how much I have possible to stake, maybe. Okay, now it looks like there's a free one. Yeah, so some of these fees are much, much less than I was seeing before. So, but you pay a fee. It's not a percentage, which I think is sort of strange because that's not usually how pools work. Usually there's a percentage. This one is 0 though, so I'd do that one. Node runner fees 0 Algorand. So setup time. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it's still being set up. But we have, according to this, 1.5. So this is a nice little dashboard too, by the way. 1.5 billion algo staked, 3,700 mainnet nodes, 1,600 online accounts, and online accounts with 30,000 algo, only 11. So actually, there's a lot of people running nodes that. Actually, that's surprising how many people are running nodes that don't have the minimum. By the way, there is a maximum of 70 million. Someone asked about, in my chat, asked about Coinbase, whether they would stake. I guess there's probably a way around it, but the 70 million limit, and the reason they wanted to do that, by the way, they didn't want to anyone to have control over it. But I thought that limit might make it challenging for them. Like they'd have to run multiple nodes to cover everybody and add a new node every time they reach that limit. Like for you and I, that's like a huge limit that we probably wouldn't ever hit. But for someone in the, for an institution, they'd probably hit that pretty quick, I'd imagine. Aaron says Messina's at 12.3. Aaron, appreciate you being on here, brother. Silver something says, guess I don't fully understand why this new staking is such a big deal. We already had staking, then it went to governance, now back to staking. I'm confused. Yeah, that's a legitimate argument, actually. I just kind of liked it when it was wallet staking, if I'm being honest. I thought that was the easiest. It was obviously a little bit less. You know, it wasn't 7% or 12% or whatever we're seeing. It was like 5 something, but it was very simple. You just held it in your wallet, and yeah, I think there's something to be said about that. Oh, I gotta fix this. Hold on. There we go. Just wanted to fix the audio. There's no audio coming through, but for when there is. But it depends on whether you're talking, and Gary makes a good point. I'll get to that in a second. Excuse me. Yeah, for the user, I preferred wallet staking, but the node incentivization, what this does is it increases, as Gary says, and he's totally right, it increases the decentralization of the platform, because we went from like 200 nodes to 3,500. We went from being toward the bottom of numbers of nodes that are being run to toward the top. We're actually right behind ETH now, I believe. And now ETH has like, what was it, like 6,000, something like that. So ETH would take a while to override, but you know, so the main big deal is that they're incentivizing node running. But yeah, I liked wallet staking better. Aaron Oliva says main thing is don't have to lock for governance. Can move out of staking without foregoing rewards. Yeah, no, so there's you guys keep bringing up really good points. I'm going to tell you, you guys are bringing up some really good points, and these are all points that I've made as well. I hated governance, and I think everyone who has watched this channel knows that I couldn't stand governance. I don't like the way it's run. I don't think the votes are very interesting, and it was really easy to get knocked out of governance. And frankly, way too easy, if I'm being honest. Don says you have to wait 5 to 10 minutes for a node to be created in Valor. Okay. Yeah, so it depends on what we're comparing it to. I definitely think node incentives make more sense than governance rewards did. I did not like governance. I'm still not a fan of it. But I did like... oh, I forgot to turn my light on back there. Oh, well. I did like just straight up staking of the wallet best. That was my favorite. And that was what got me into Algorand in the first place, as a matter of fact. So yeah, staking's been really cool, but has not really moved the needle on price compared to, well, let's look at... What's done really well? Yeah, I mean, Hedera's doing well. Hedera number 8 in terms of pump right now. Little DAO leading the way on the 24-hour charts, and even Cosmos is up there. Solana's up there. You know, Solana in 14th. Near is on 25. Did I miss Algorand? Sorry, I'm scrolling really fast. Yeah, Algorand in 60th. So this, yeah, I don't think you could say right now that this, for all the excitement that was there, I'm not sure this moved the needle a ton in terms of price. What about the week? You know, we could say, well, that's that belongs to Trump. It's sitting around $33. God, I feel, man, if you bought at 70, you're with Trump, you're really screwed. Yeah, even on the weekly chart, you know, Algorand's kind of underperformed. I'm kind of surprised because there was a ton of chatter about this, a ton of talk about Algorand staking rewards. God, it can't be that bad, was it? Did I miss it? No, I had to have missed it. Hold on. Oh, there. Oh my gosh, yeah, 65th on the top 100 because it lost. So yeah, that's not great. That's not what we want to see. Let's see what chat is saying. Aaron says new staking is the way. Wish they did it sooner. Average Zen said not moving price, but people are seeing that we have the second most decentralized coin. Yeah, there's definitely price is not the only factor for sure. I 100% agree with that. But you know, let's be honest, it's something we all care about, I think. Xavier Martin says, congrats to Algorand. I wish the staking minimum to run a node should be more 1/4 between 5 and 10,000 algo. Yeah, it is a pretty high bar to entry. Much lower than a lot of coins, to be honest. And I could see an argument. I guess I don't know enough to be really specific, but I probably would run a node. I'm still considering it because what I learned recently, the tiny algo pool on TinyMan is, or sorry, the algo USD pool on TinyMan is basically like defunded. It's not good. Let me pull it up and then I'll bring it up. Okay. Is it showing up in there? Yeah. So Algorand APR right now is 3.76%. Way too low to be super useful. And I was making like really good rewards, like as in I was making enough every month to pay some bills on this if I wanted to. I was just restaking it. But the option was there, I guess is my point. And now you got to think about that, because if you're going to earn more on algo, so you're just getting tiny rewards now. And that's the farming APY. I have to look at what the pool fees are before I do anything. That's the one thing I got to look at, but that's not what I was hoping for. Gary Loves Algo says, I leave the notes to the professionals. I'm just here because algo is the definition of money. I think we all like money. Sure. Aaron says price holding steady, but that's fine. Let me stack. Cheap. Yeah, Average Zen says you don't need 30 to earn from nodes. Well, you do to run a node, and that's what we were referring to. We've spent a lot of time earlier in the stream talking about the different options. Made a whole video yesterday about the different options, but to just directly run a node, yes, 30,000. I don't know. I could see. It's hard to say. Oh, it says Average says check out PackFi announcement about Algo LP plus node rewards. Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Hey, before I do this. Hi, doggy. That's the Melania chart. Oh man. Oh boy. Anyone who bought Melania, boy, are you underwater. Trump coin did pretty well. Melania, not so well. Anyway. Hey Abby, hold on. Doesn't PackFi just... PacFi has a Twitter, don't they? I just searched for PacFi. Do they not have a Twitter? Hold on, my dog's got to go out. Okay, puppy. Okay. Here you go. Okay, I'm back. Nobody answering about PacFi. Huh, that's weird. Pretty much everyone has a Twitter, I thought. Give me a second. I gotta put my headphones on anyway. There we go. I think I got it pulled up here. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't see any news on their They have a news tab. There's their news tab. The latest is from August 2021. All right, Average Zen says Folks is coming out greater than 10% APR for XAlgo, no fees, double points. Man, I gotta be honest. I think the whole derivative coin thing is super annoying. I just find it overly complicated and annoying. That's just me. But I know PacFi is doing something different. I can't see links in here on my platform. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't see Okay, I'll just read what you said. PacFi is just calculating the algo and the LP towards consensus and using it to add additional APR. Well, that sounds good. Hold on, let me why don't they just have a link to their dApp on the front page? Why would you do that? Is this their same one? Oh, that was a different one, that's why. Apparently there's another PacFi that has nothing to do with crypto. Oops. Yeah, we should have SeaWill coming on in like 5 minutes. In fact, let me see if I don't see anything. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not really seeing see, registration, HumbleFi, merged with PackFi. Oh, that's interesting. I actually didn't know that. Yeah, I don't. Surprised they did. If they had an announcement, they didn't put it right at the top of their page. All right. Well, interesting to know. Let's see what else I've missed. Xavier says Algorand is the most solid blockchain project out there. Amazing work has been done. I agree. So one of the things I'll either react to myself or with SeaWill if I can get it to work. And that's always a big maybe on trying something brand new. So we'll just have to see if it works. We're going to be reacting to a little mini debate between John Allen Woods and Justin Bonds about Solana versus Algorand. Mostly it was his criticisms of Algorand. It was his criticisms of Algorand. The thing I'll say about Justin Bonds is I think it's okay to like have, to really look at some of this stuff and make critiques. I don't think that's a problem. I don't have a problem with that. Look at El Gutardio. We're going to look at that in a second. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is like he doesn't apply that same critique to Solana. And I think that's a real problem. Average Zen says, yeah, they told me that at the cipher it was a huge drama. Interesting. What was the drama? Anything you can talk about? Aaron says, I saw Melania an hour after it dropped, so thought I'd get in and try for a quick buck, but ended up wasting $50 in failed transactions. Noped out a soul so fast. What a joke chain. Yeah, exactly. So this is the problem I have. So, Justin will talk about these really, really picky things about all these other blockchains, but he'll overlook like the basics of that Solana gets wrong. The failed transactions over and over and over. The fact that it was super congested, it obviously was not ready for the onslaught of a Trump coin. I think Algorand would have held up better, to be honest, 100%. And the fact that it's actually harder to run a node on Solana. You need a lot more Solana than you do Algorand to run a node. It's like, was it like 44,000 or something? It was really high. It was a really high number. I just looked it up before, but I can't remember. So Average Zen says, yeah, apparently Choppa, PackFi's social media manager, was embezzling. Oh my. Allegedly, the rewards Algo Foundation was given PackFi. Shaman from Humble is taking over the platform. Oh, interesting. Well, I wondered because I had some stuff staked on there and it didn't seem to be earning anything, and I couldn't really figure it out. All right, let's see if SeaWill's come in already or not. I don't see him. And I haven't got a message from him or anything, so we'll check back in a minute here. In the meantime, let's look at Algo Tardio. So this is one of the more interesting stories in crypto. We're on the 4-hour. Let's just go to like the weekly chart here. All right, that's too much. Daily chart. Oh, is this a new coin? Is this the rug pull coin, or is this a new version of it? Oh, here we go. No, this is the one. Okay, here we are. Now we're set up here. Just took a little while to freshen up. Yeah, it's super interesting because it was sort of a rug, but because it was on Rug Ninja and the way it was set up, the community was able to take it over and like kind of get it back onto where you want it. That's pretty interesting. Average Zen says they told me that Humble will move to Void and PackFi will be their sole platform on Algo. Interesting. All right, let me see. I don't see SeaWill yet, so we'll keep responding. Faircut Prepare, welcome to the show. Says you can buy into my Valor node. Haha, got it up earlier. You'll need to be one of my NFT baby as I have made it requirement. Support me, I support you. To set up a Valor takes a while. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said, so far I'm in the Marcus Aurelius pool. They're a sponsor of the show, and as is non-fungible domains, and I just did the Marcus Aurelius one just because I wanted to just try it out and see how it goes. In fact, I'm just gonna pull it up here and look, just because I'm curious. While I wait for SeaWill to come in. I did test it out, by the way. I'm using video and OBS Ninja for the room, and I tested it out using a separate camera on my. So I had two cameras plugged in, my old camera that I used to use. I just want to see if I've like earned anything. I don't know if that is even how it works, but not yet. Still 0 rewarded, which is probably I didn't necessarily think so. Oh, I think it's working. I think it's working. Okay, he's here. Let me see what happens. I see him. Oh, nope, not that. Streamlabs was not acting very well for me. That's what made me. If he's here, I'm just trying to get him. What does interact do? So there's a button called interact, and and it's not doing anything. Okay. Wait. Oh, this is. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I think I know how to do it. Nope, that didn't do it. Let me try adding the. That's the ID. Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. I think I got it. Oh, interesting. Hold on. Nope. Oh. Wait. Oh, hey. I see you. Do you see me, SeaWill? I see him, but I don't think he can hear me. Yeah, we had him up. Now he's not there. Let me see. Wait, I think I have to do something. Hold on. I might have to do something on. Message. Sorry guys, I know this is probably like not the most fun thing to watch. Yeah, I don't get it. He was there for a second. Wait, let me find it. Let me try this one more time. Okay. Wait, hold on. I think I got it. Can you hear me, SeaWill? Oh, interesting. Hold on. Nope. Oh, hey. I see you.
Oh.
Twitter.
Yo.
You see me, SeaWill?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. No, let me see. Disable security.
I see it, but I can't. I don't think you can hear me.
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah, we had him up. No, he's not there. Maybe. Hold on. I can hear me.
Let's see.
Oh, they can hear me. Hold on. Go to Twitter if you're listening to the stream. They can hear me. Hold on. Go to Twitter if you're listening to the stream. They can hear me. Hold on. Go to Twitter if you're listening to the stream. They can hear me. Try saying something. Go to Twitter if you're listening to the stream. Try saying something. I can hear you.
Test. Can you hear me?
Try saying something. I can hear you.
Test. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Try saying something. If you can hear me, I can hear you. The audience can hear you. Oh, he left now. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Well, we tried. We'll have to come back to that. It just wasn't working. AI says crypto gods punishing SeaWill for his lack of bad faith in Ballsack. Oh, poor guy. Can you hear me now? Has the sound better now? Let me see what. Hold on a second. Yeah, one thing about OBS, it's a big pain. Maybe if I bring guests on, I just won't use OBS. But there's so many options it gives you, and I was really, really unhappy with Streamlabs. It was not working well. But maybe the actual version of it. Yeah, one thing about OBS. Oh my. Allegedly, the rewards Algorand Foundation was given PAC-5. Shaman from Humble is taking over the platform. Oh, interesting. Yeah, well, you know, I wondered because I had some stuff. Okay, yeah, must have been just through the OBS. Yeah, I'll have to play around with that more. That just was not working. Oh well, we tried. Trying new things. That's kind of the name of the game. Appreciate everyone who's been sticking around. I know it probably wasn't the most fun thing. Well, I do want to share a couple things before I go. I thought this was pretty interesting. Let me find it. So this is the streamer Emaru. I don't know if you guys know who that is. I'm gonna make it a little smaller here. So Emaru, she's on a podcast with Asmongold and a couple other people now, and she had this thing about Algorand. So I'm gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this together. Let's make sure that's working. You guys getting anything? Actually, I'm not either. Hold on. Oh, it got muted. Okay. So there's no unfortunately there's no nothing to watch, but watch what comes up next. She's looking for coins. Can I skip ahead a little bit? Uh-oh. So she ended up being in a battle between Algorand and Russell. I wish I could. She made some comments that I thought were interesting. She thought these charts looked horrible, and then she thought the Algorand charts looked okay. This is a pretty big streamer, by the way. She's got like, what, 1.7 million followers? Yeah. She actually was rooting for Algorand to win too. Yeah, I wonder which so there was like this battle of which one would win. I thought that was kind of funny. I never heard of Russell either. Average then. I don't know what that is. But this is a pretty big streamer talking about Algorand, and oh, Russell's pulling ahead. Oh no. And then it came back. Yeah, too bad I couldn't show you the audio, but it's apparently it got muted. Yeah, she didn't want to look because she thought Algorand looked normal and Russell looked bad, and she didn't want to have to. So apparently this is some kind of game where she's on like a $10,000 portfolio challenge, and she's picking these cryptos. Those are the cryptos she's chosen so far, but it's community voted, so the community is voting. but then she has to end the vote at some point. So it's kind of interesting because at some point, like, you could probably just wait till it waits into the one you want. There you go, Algorand won, and she seems very, very relieved. Yeah, do you guys watch her? Yeah, Fracas says yeah, she's famous. Yeah, I didn't know who she was. I didn't know who she was until I started listening to Asmongold's podcast, and she's one of the regular people on the podcast. And I had no idea she was like that big, but she's pretty big. But yeah, I thought that was kind of neat, just a fun little thing. I was gonna have SeaWill react to that. Hold on one second. Okay, so a lot of this has been going on. A lot of this has been going on lately between Solana and Algorand. There's a guy named Justin Bonds. Some of you are probably familiar with him. He's on Twitter, and he does some pretty deep dives into cryptocurrency. And I want to give you, he definitely is in favor of Solana. He's definitely a Solana. Some people call him a Solana shill. I don't think that's undeserved, and I'll explain why later. But he's been criticizing Algorand lately, and a lot of the Algorand community has gotten pretty ticked at him. Well, I didn't know this was going to happen, but he actually got up on a space recently that the Algorand Foundation hosted for staking, and I thought he was pretty cordial overall. I will give him credit for that, but I thought some of his comments were kind of silly. But I think the main issue I have with him is that I don't think he's very fair. I think it's fine to be critical, and I don't think he necessarily points out incorrect things. But for some reason, and people have speculations on that reason, for some reason he focuses on, when it comes to Solana, that critique is gone. And Solana has some of the most obvious critiques you can think of. I mean, failed transactions left or right. I've been using Helium Mobile on Solana for a long time, and the service is great. But anytime I go to claim my tokens, it's about a 50-50 chance it's going to fail. So, and not to mention that those failed transactions get counted as transactions in their transaction count. He doesn't seem to have time for that. But anyway, so I want to play this clip because I thought this was pretty interesting, and just give me a second to pull it up.
Unfortunately, our friends from Messina will be unable to speak today. Kevin is here in the speaker board, and I appreciate him joining, but he's very... And, once again, to the Algo fam listening to us live, I highly recommend that you follow every single one of the speakers today. I know for Node Network. So, that's just a quick recap of every hour in the next few days. So, just look at their content.
Okay, here we go.
And decide what solution works best for you. There are plenty of options. There's no reason why you shouldn't pick at least one of them, but hopefully multiple, and you try many different projects and support many different projects at once. So, maybe I'll throw it back to my team here. Mark, John, Mikkel. I think my part here by shilling our ecosystem is done. Over to you guys.
Perfect. I think we're going to get to the last part of the space shortly, but I know, John, I think I see your best friend has requested to speak. So we can bring Justin Bonds on stage potentially, and we can...
Oh, I thought it was Sydney Sweeney. Okay, yeah. If it's Justin, that's fine.
Hello, Justin. Hello, can you hear us?
Hello. I didn't realize you. I applied a while ago. Yeah, I can hear you now. How's it going? I was just responding to John Wood, actually. in regards to the thing he left me. So I just wrote a really long response.
Hey, Justin, how are things, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing, John? It's been a while
Good.
since we last chatted.
Yeah, and by the way, I enjoyed the last time too. It's always been very cordial. And by the way, look, this is not about convincing you to my way of thinking or you convincing me to your way of thinking. I understand your viewpoints. I think a lot of them are fair. I just, I think it's worth, calling out where there's, I guess, misunderstanding amongst the ecosystem about certain projects. And I'm happy to speak.
Let's have a chat.
Yeah, I'm happy to speak even
yeah,
to.
go ahead,
Sorry. Yeah, I'm happy to speak even to ADA a little bit because obviously I know the architecture very well. So from the ADA and Algorand side, I'm happy to discuss with you and see what you think.
Sure. No, let's schedule spaces because in 13 minutes from now, I've got my other spaces scheduled, so we don't exactly have too much time to get into it now. I will respond to your most recent post. I was just writing that out now when I surprisingly heard my phone call out my name. That was fun. Yeah, so now, because look, and the way I see it, John, as well, is that, look, our viewpoints are not that far apart, actually. But a lot of the algo community is acting as if, like, I'm lying and I'm a shill.
Well, yeah, we are, because you kind of are. I mean, he has this thing where, like I said, and I kind of pointed this out earlier, he has no problem critiquing other chains, but when it comes to Solana, he just has that critique is just gone. Like, that critical thinking just goes out the window. And that's the main problem I think a lot of the community has.
And I'm just like this horrible human being, and I'm like, you need to, kind of, when that type of toxicity props up, you need to kind of set that straight, or else it will fester. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not a healthy type of discourse. When I'm, I think I'm coming here as like a legitimate critic. Like, I understand Algorand fairly well. I don't know how many other big critics are putting attention to Algorand like this, but if you shun me, then that's not good for the culture, let's say, just from that perspective.
I think across cryptocurrency in general, and I've worked professionally on Ethereum, Cardano, and Algorand. I think there's a lot of passion, and people get fired up, and of course their tweets fire back and forth, and so it's easy to maybe be influenced by the kind of insightful tweets, and get your back up a little bit. So, but I think in general, both in Cardano, by the way, and in Algorand, the communities are typically quite, I think, measured. I mean, not always, of course, but typically, and I like to think integrous, and I think. I'm sorry that you've had some, experiences that you feel are a little bit tribal, but we do try to encourage intellectual honesty.
Well, you certainly always have, and I've very much respect that, actually. And when my critique came around, it was very much like, you agree. Yes, you agree with most of my critique. Let's fix it. And I'm like, yay, let's fix it. Like that. That's how it should be. Not the whole, like, you're denying, like, people are denying that my critique is true, yet at the same time, they're making the fixes. It makes no freaking sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, here's the thing, like, for example, if we take the relays, which is like one of the core things you have an issue with, which is one of the core things I had an issue with, which is why I pushed for peer-to-peer with our colleagues at Algorand Technologies. I felt it was important to have a permissionless data propagation layer that had absolutely no config nor onboarding required. And so the current state of the world is that in Algorand, the relays, of course, are essentially this super fast network that all of the participation nodes or the consensus nodes connect to. But it is true right now that, of course, anyone, including yourself or myself, without permission can stand up a relay. It will connect to all the other relays in the Algorand network, and it will start to gossip and flow traffic. So,
which, by the way, that permissionless structure, like, that's what decentralization is. We can all run a node. There is a barrier to entry, and some people, as we've seen in our chat earlier, argue that maybe that barrier should be lower. I think that's a fair question, but I think it's a pretty low barrier compared to a lot of other chains. And listen, I love Hedera, I love SeaWill, but the barrier to entry is on Hedera right now is like, you have to basically host a giant, you basically have to own a giant platform You have to own a giant company to stake it, to be part of the governing council. So there's only like 31 nodes right now. On SeaWill, you have to own, I think it's like 100 million SeaWill. It's really high. It's really high. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. It is 100 million SeaWill. It's really high. So, you know, the average, like, and there's a max on Algorand. There's a max of 70 million. So which one's more decentralized, right? And like I said, I'm a fan of both. You know, I think they both have their strengths. And I just think right now, if we're talking about, if we're talking about decentralization, and Justin Bonds will make this difference between consensus and relay nodes, I think that's picking nits when we're talking about you always have to ask compared to what. And if you look at a lot of the other coins in the ecosystem, you know, right now there's more nodes on Algorand than every other chain except for Ethereum. I think that's a big deal. So I don't hate him for his critique, but I think it's a little misguided or not in context, basically.
Sorry, flow traffic. But what it will not do is be discoverable by a vanilla consensus node. And so if one wanted to stand up their own kind of relay, you would have to specifically point your consensus node at it. And so that's okay. It's not great. And true decentralization is where anyone can start one of these things and they don't have to bend over backwards in order to get their data to flow.
Well, in practice, this is the part that concerns me, and I'd like to, maybe we can schedule a spaces for like next week or the week after that. We can dig into this a bit more. Don't have enough time for that now. But what I would specifically like to dig into is what I'm concerned about in terms of where Algo is heading. I'm not sure how familiar you are with XRP. So XRP has what's known as a unique node list. And basically it just comes with the software, right? Like you run, you know, your node, and everyone will connect to the unique node list. And anyone who kind of doesn't connect to that node list is essentially kind of kicked out of the network. They can't get their transactions relayed. So in practice, it's a permission system. In practice, even though like a lot of XRP people will say, no, but anyone can run one of these nodes, anyone can put up their own list, but it's meaningless if you have this kind of centralization of control of the list. So that's the part that concerns me about where Algorand's heading.
And so that's fair, but even in peer-to-peer, that exists to some extent, because even in Bitcoin, as an example, there's a bootstrap DNS, right?
Right. But I would say that's still different because of the peer-to-peer, actually, because of the peer-to-peer gossip network. You're able to, that's just your starting point in Bitcoin. Well, in XRP, that's your endpoint. That's the problem.
Well, yeah. I mean that's probably fair with XRP. I'm not sure about the architecture so much on that, but you know, you still have, even in Bitcoin with absolute peer-to-peer by definition, you still have this kind of like the golden node that you go to first to get started, right?
Yeah, so to speak, or a list of quote unquote golden nodes. That's correct. Yeah.
And so I guess my point is absolute perfect decentralization at the network propagation layer is very, very tricky to do. But, you know, Algorand has reasonable decentralization at the network propagation layer now. I know you don't agree with that, but certainly in Q1, when we drop peer-to-peer, we will get to a place where it's as functionally decentralized as Bitcoin is currently.
Well, see, John's kind of saying what I was saying, right? Like, de facto, it's basically decentralized. I think Justin's picking like a really technical nit that I don't think most people are going to care about. And you know, whenever you make a statement like that, you have to say, well, compared to what? And you could say, well, compared to Bitcoin, maybe Bitcoin's a little more decentralized. Okay, fine, but I would put Algorand pretty high up in especially with the number of nodes that are running now. I would put Algorand up pretty high in the decentralization list. So that's just what I'm saying.
Yeah, I really have to check on the details of that. Like, what I'm also curious about, like, look, I mean, like, as far as like to process one transaction, right? Like, to process one transaction takes a certain amount of data, takes a certain amount of processing power, and it kind of looks similar at all of the blockchains, right? Look, I mean, Algo is not black magic, right? If it were to actually do 10,000 TPS, its node requirements would be significantly higher, unless, right, what you're doing now is you're basically just outsourcing those node requirements to a highly centralized and permission part of this design. That's what the relay nodes are. If you didn't have the relay nodes, the actual node requirements for normal nodes would be much, much higher. Funnily enough, the relay nodes have similar node requirements to Solana.
But actually, I don't think we had. We actually have spiked over 10,000, and we didn't have nearly the number of nodes in place. So I'm not so sure about that.
Oh no, they don't. So
No?
like I mean, like I'll take the 2 points. So working backwards chronologically, our relay nodes are 32 gigs of RAM with a gigabit NIC and I think 3 terabytes of disk space. That's NVMe.
Okay, I stand corrected then. But at 10K TPS, it would just be the same node requirements as Solana, right?
No,
Right?
no, it wouldn't actually be, because the AVM is whatever. I know we're running out of time, but the AVM is like the Apple Silicon of the crypto space, man. It's incredibly efficient, and so by the way is our data propagation, and by the way our deduplication and our handling of transactions that are invalid, etc. And so
What's the size of a single transaction, just out of curiosity, like by bytes? Like how many bytes is a single
If
transaction?
I can jump in here for a second,
Yeah, sure.
this totally feels like a dedicated space.
Yeah. This is not the time or place. And
Right,
I'm also jumping into another space in 6 minutes from now.
So let's do this. Let's continue this conversation. And Justin, as you suggest, maybe we do a dedicated space about this next week, and it'd be great to kind of dive deep on this and park the issue for now, because I think we're running out of time.
But Mark, if I can ask one thing of Justin, if I convince you on this space next week, will you dump your Solana bags and buy Algorand?
If you convince me, my fund will buy some Algorand, but I won't dump Solana, because then you also have to convince me that Solana is also bad, right? There's 2 arguments there. And also, I'm an investor. I can invest in multiple assets. I've never. True,
but yeah, I could see. I could make an argument why Solana is bad. I don't think it's that hard to make. I don't think you have to get nearly as technical to make the argument that Solana is bad. 40% failed transactions, multiple instances of downtime. What more do you need? I mean, really, what more do you need? That's so again, we're getting into these like hyper specific technical questions on Algorand, and like the basics of how a blockchain should function don't happen on Solana. So I mean, that's kind of my point. Like it's so crazy to like get into these hyper technical details about, well, it's not quite decentralized to my liking, yet your chain is just failing. I mean, I just don't understand. Like I said, there's other chains I like. I'm not a Algorand maxi by any means. Justin seems to be a Solana maxi. Yeah, 14 average then says 14,000. Yeah, 14,000 it maxed out at. Yeah, and we've seen the receipts, so I mean it's legit. So let me see if I can find. Oops. No, that's not it. I think it was on. Wait, did I save it? He had a really good breakdown. Hold on. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. I thought it was a response. It must have been. Hold on, maybe I can find it. I have to get going pretty soon. I think John had a really good response to his space. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he's the ICP one crowd doesn't care for him very much either. But yeah, 27 nodes. I mean, that's not great. That's worth criticizing, I think. Shoot. Yeah, I thought I had saved that, but I guess I didn't. John Woods had a really good breakdown on. I thought it'd be higher up. I don't know where that went. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, I think it was. Honestly, I think it was kind of a silly space. I think it was a weird thing to do. Oh, Jupiter Azad, welcome. Jupiter I said he earned his first over 10 algo. Yeah, I got your first block. Congrats, my friend. Yeah, I don't know. I thought the debate was a little bit silly. There's a much longer debate, by the way. If you check on Justin Bond's stream, you can check that out. It's 3 hours, so I haven't listened to it. I don't know if I'll get to it, to be honest. I thought about maybe trying to pull some clips from that too, but Average Son says, yeah, I swear Justin is just like the Beat Bobby Flay of the crypto world, just going around wanting to start fights with everyone to prove he's better. Could be. Okay, guys. Well, I think we've gone for, how long has it been? So now I don't have a thing that says how long, but yeah, it looks like it's over an hour. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get going, guys. But thanks so much for coming today. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Apologies to SeaWill. I think I understand more about how it works now. So now I'll have to play around with it a little. What do they call it? OBS Ninja, and see if I can get it. And yeah, it's a bummer that I couldn't stream to Kick, but it did work on Twitter, so that's cool too. We'll figure out something for Kick. So, all right, guys. Well, if you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so. Shows the video to more people. I think we still had some pretty good stuff in there, minus the technical difficulties. Ice Age Trail says peace out, Average Zen. Thanks for watching. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties. We will get those worked out. Anytime you try something new and you try to level up, sometimes you go backwards a little bit, because you're trying out something new. So big shout out to our sponsors, Non-Fungible Domains and Marcus Aurelius. Check out both of them. They're both running Ready Pools, by the way. And you can find those right on the Pair Wallet Ready Pool thing. And also, yeah, channel memberships for only $1. You can get videos before anyone else. Not the live streams, of course, but all our published videos, you get them before anyone else. And then we have higher tiers for exclusive videos that only members get. So you can check that out in the description and all our other links that support the channel. Otherwise, I'm Frugal BC.